So I know you'll see my eyes kind of wander as I'm talking to you, but I'm trying to look at a whole bunch of different resources here, just so I can remember to say everything. I've got something over here. I've got my books right in front of me. I've got more things over here. I have another computer screen right here that I'm kind of referencing. So if I look away, I apologize. I'm trying to focus, but I can't memorize it all. So we're going to talk next about how you use Young Living essential oils. Two things I just kind of wanted to get out there right away. The first one is that a response to an essential oil should happen relatively quickly. If you use an essential oil or you use it on your child and nothing is happening, you probably want to try another essential oil that has a similar benefit, that supports that body system in a similar way, because every person's body is different and will react in different ways. So what works really great for one person may not necessarily work really great for another. The second thing is that a person will not experience the full benefit of essential oils without regular use. So you don't just want to have these be a one-time thing. If you really want to get the benefits from Young Living, you need to use them on more of a consistent basis. So let's first dig in. Let's talk about using essential oils with pregnancy. Now, there are many aromatherapy guides that give oils to avoid during pregnancy. However, there have been instances where non-therapeutic grade essential oils, so remember those adulterated, those synthetic, or those oils of poor quality, have possibly caused a problem during pregnancy. The many, many thousands of mothers who have contributed to this book and the other research that I have done have used all of those oils as appropriate and in the manner that they are listed without problems because they picked the right oil and used it in the right way. The difference is quality, which we've already talked about, but also common sense. Don't use something you're not comfortable with. You know, it's your body, it's your baby growing inside of you, and it's your decision ultimately. But just know that if you're using Young Living essential oils in the manner that they're supposed to be used, then you shouldn't have any ill effects from that. For very young babies, for babies that are 1 day old until 2 years old, there are some oils that you want to use cautiously. Eucalyptus, basil, juniper, peppermint, hyssop, and wintergreen. And there have been some nursing women who have found that peppermint decreased their milk supply. Now, the reason that you may want to avoid or just use cautiously those oils is because children in general are just more delicate. And some oils have a very strong smell, which can, in very rare cases, lead to respiratory distress. Only recently, and I told you my boys are almost 2 years old, have I felt really confident about using eucalyptus when they're having some sort of respiratory issue to support their respiratory systems. I just wasn't comfortable with it, but there are plenty of, oil using moms out there that are fine with using them when they're much younger. It's all about personal comfort level. Babies also have a much thinner, more delicate skin than adults, so diluting with a natural lotion or carrier oil is essential. You don't want to use an essential oil on a young baby or a young child without diluting it, and we'll talk about dilution more and what carrier oil to use later on. For toddlers and young children, there is a whole list of oils that are safe to use, but this list is not all inclusive. It's not an exhaustive list. But those oils include bergamot, cedarwood, Roman chamomile, cypress, frankincense, geranium, ginger, lavender, lemon, marjoram, melaleuca, which is also known as tea tree oil, orange, rose otto, rosemary, rosewood, sandalwood, thyme, ylang ylang. Remember I said you want to dilute all oils for toddlers and young children, and when in doubt, just use a mix of a 1 to 30 blend, and we'll talk more about that too. Make sure that you are selecting the right oil for the right issue. Oils are very powerful. You don't want to use them unnecessarily. So make sure when you're using them, you're using the right oil for the right issue. And a little bit goes a long way. More is not always better. Okay. Now, sensitivities to Young Living essential oils are very rare. If a sensitivity occurs, the cause may be that a different brand of oil was used that are the chemically adulterated oils, or maybe that oil was used in excess and it simply overloaded the system. You also have to think about food choices. Recent vaccinations and family history of health concerns should always be taken into consideration when selecting and using essential oils. Remember, essential oils are all natural. So if you're using something, a shampoo, a lotion, you just had a recent vaccination, or your child did, and those two things will kind of combat each other a little bit. And so if that happens, if you do have some sort of skin irritation or sensitivity while using a Young Living essential oil, most likely it's not the oil that's causing the problem. It's one of those above mentioned issues. And what you can do is just take a carrier oil and just kind of rub it on and keep rubbing over time, and slowly that irritation will begin to go away. So I hope that was a good beginning for you to think about what types of oils are safe to use when you're pregnant, when you have very young children or babies, and then for older children.